Hi, this is Kevin Kgmjam on Pro Advertisers Club, a totally free site to advertise. Go to proadvertisersclub.com, join for free today, and start advertising for free. Okay, I worked out some of the problems I've been having streaming with the StreamYard, and it was extensions that I had installed. Evidently, it doesn't work that good. It can make it lag. But it's still not running the way I want to. I still can't do everything I want with it. So I'll keep working on it. So we'll see how this one goes. But anyway, so today, let me see. I did figure out how to do the banners. And I'm going to go ahead and what I can do is stream them while I'm talking. And I could make banners up that want to be points I want to talk about, and they have a little bit of information plus remind me what the hell it is I want to talk about. But this is pretty much going to be all about Veve, DC, NFT, Palm, HRO, Splinterlands. Those are the ones I'm familiar with, and then whatever else anybody else wants to talk to. And if you got a question, leave a question. If you got an answer, leave an answer, and we'll go from there. But as you can see, it's streaming on the bottom now, and just a little bit of information. And then what I'll do is I just clicked on another one. I haven't figured out how to do it automatically yet, but I'm working on it. But what I want to talk about is this right here. And let me get it pulled up. This is another problem I'm having is when I pull up a tab, it really bogs down the system. And let's see if it's going to still do it. Okay, now I'm sharing. And let's see if that pops up. Looks like it worked. Okay, it did. All right, I'm on. So anyway, it's stuff like this is what, Veve's down low and it's going lower every day, it seems like. And one of the things I do is I try to find out what is going on through whatever data I can find. And this is a perfect example. This is the Coca-Cola globe, and there's 4 of them. And the chart I got down, there's a secret rare. Here's we go. And they are high minted, 7,000, 10,000, stuff like that. So, but these prices are ridiculously low. Good time to get in on it if you so chose to. But go to the secret rare. Somebody has started buying them. I mean, they didn't sell for a long time, and all of a sudden you got 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 4 today, 14. And you're like, somebody just decided that it doesn't mean run out and buy one, but it means that somebody or some buddies are stocking high-end items that they believe for whatever the reason, they're going to go up. And if you just look at prices, it's like, oh, this is crap. It's going to go down. It's going to keep going down. And if that was true, you don't get sales like this. You just don't, because more and more people will disappear. But instead, all you hear about are the bad prices, the low prices. Well, you buy low, sell high. That's what they, try to teach everybody. And so when I see them buying, and I don't know who they are, I didn't even try to figure it out, but these are actual sales. It's not just delistings. Okay, that's a good sign. That means Veve is healthy, even though everything's down. That means that there's people who either know what's coming, uh, believe in it, and because it just popped up out of, whatever. Who knows? But anyway, that's something you could research yourself and find out. So let's go back to the stats. Go to the home. Check this out. This is VV3. This is something everybody should use. There's other sites, but you want to get something where you can look at the data yourself. And you're not relying on somebody to just tell you what they think or what they hope. And truthfully, that's knows what the hell is going on, and then they're gag ordered, so they really can't tell you anyway. So let's go. Let me put on another. Oh, the Virtuous Now Vinar. If you're familiar with the Virtuous site, it's like Veve. It's not as popular as Veve, but this is its third name change. Okay, it went from Virtua to Veneri, and it used to be Terra Virtua. They changed it because of the comparison to Terra Luna when it crashed. And anyway, if you got the Vanry, whatever it's called, and if you're on an exchange, it will do it automatically, so you don't have to worry about it. But let's get back to here. This is yesterday's numbers. Okay, $38,000 in sales. It's not bad, because show me a market that's doing any better. Most of them are out of business, and the few that are sticking around got parent companies that got deep pockets, so you don't. And they don't share data like this. It's real hard to find out what actually is going on these platforms. Perfect examples: Top Shots, All Day. They're on the float chain, and their numbers are off without even getting information like this. You just go on there, and hardly any sales. They can't sell out of any packs hardly. And I'm belong to both those sites. I'm not saying they're bad, and not. They seem to be able. They're going to stick around, and they'll be fine if they make it into the next bull market. But what I see here, and again, this is amateurish, armchair quarterbacking, and don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But at least I'm seeing that. The low prices is such a, what am I trying to say here? It doesn't really tell you what's going on. No, these numbers aren't great, but compared to what's going on in all the other ones, these are incredible. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If I'm seeing that any platform makes it, it's Veve, just from these numbers. Now, things can change from day to day. I can be totally wrong. Everything could go to zero tomorrow. But when you start seeing people buy things all of a sudden at the bottom, and you go look it up, just like I said, you got to do your own research. It makes you realize that there's more going on than just what you see, in a good way. Does that mean you go out and spend? No, you don't go out and spend a lot of money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you do the research yourself. You find out, you go on, if you got questions, you go on to something like I'm trying to do here with this stream. This is only my third stream, and I'm still working out the kinks. But you go on, ask questions. You're somebody who knows what they're talking about, and somebody is giving out wrong information, just let them know. Even if you might think it's wrong, because that's how you find out what's really going on. But honestly, 95% of us don't know what's going on. I don't care how good of a streamer they are. I don't care how good of a they just believe in the project. And unless they're actually invited to the round table, like I said, they got gag orders. So we don't know. We just guess, speculate. And as long as we make that clear, that's good. That's okay. Because that's the fun part. That's why the funnest part of all of this for me is trying to figure out what they're thinking, what they're going to do next, and that will be determined on how I decide how to collect. Because this is, as of right now, just a collecting platform. There's not much utility on anything. And what they usually do is do something once just to prove they can do it, and then put it on the shelf. And there's probably about a couple dozen things they've used utility for so far. And then the crafting is an example. They do a different crafting every time because they're experimenting, they're trying it out, they're seeing how it works, and they can use all of them or they could never use it again. But it proves to you that they can do it. One of the earliest things was the Back to the Future car, where you could the utility was, I think, driving it. That was a while ago. It was a couple of years ago, and they turned it off all of a sudden. You're buying these NFTs that just pretty much don't do much right now. It's just a collectible. But at any time, we can turn a switch on, and it can be a whole lot more. That's the beauty of NFTs. And it's all up to the IP. It's not Veve's decision. If Disney comes to them and says, we don't want to do another thing with our golden moments, just leave them like they are, that's the way it's going to be. But if you've done any research on the golden moments, they are designed extra data attachment, so which means they obviously have thought about or thinking of what you got, but as of right now, again, they're just a collectible, and that's it. So let's go back and let's do live. So I think so yeah, this is only going to be 15 minutes. Actually, let's go to, we'll just do this one. So that's weekly. Here's the weekly numbers. Not bad at all for, supposedly, if you listen to the news, NFTs are dead. Well, they got $400,000 to prove it's not. And yeah, that's awful compared to what they were doing. But compared to what everybody else is doing right now, that's incredible. Down. This is a pretty good active wallets because of all the bots. It was really inflated in the early days, but 20,000 active people is not bad at all. It goes up and down, a couple, 20 people a day maybe type things, but we're waiting for that big, mainstream type thing that happens. And I don't know what that's going to be. I have some speculations. I've talked about it. I'll talk about it some more. I think that will be the biggest to make it go mainstream. Now, just to get crypto people back in will be the halving. When Bitcoin skyrockets like it has to, in order for the system to work, it has to skyrocket. The question is, when does it do it? Does it do it before the halving? Because think about it, we could have the bull run before the halving, and then the price drop, and then they could spend after the halving dropping it down to the level that it's supposed to be at. I think the last bull run, it didn't happen until a couple of months after the halving. So you just never know, but it's going to happen. It has to. It's the only way that it can work. Because if you're getting half the amount of Bitcoin on the block for mining block, price has got to at least double. That's just basic math, or it doesn't work. The system won't work. So yeah, that's why they're estimating this will be my third halving. The first one, it went from uh, 1,000 to 20,000. The second one that I went through, it went down as low as 3,000 and went up as high as I think 60,000 at one point, till settling in the 30s and the 20s. So this third one for me, if it's doing like it's done on every other halving, you're looking at a $250,000 Bitcoin. But here's the point I'm trying to make with that, why that helps us. If they get filthy rich on crypto, they're going to want to spend it. And probably the last thing to follow behind Bitcoin would be NFTs. I think the meme coins will go next, of course, the altcoins, whatever you want to call them. Then after all that market goes up, then they'll have all that money, and they'll come in and get things on the cheap, because we'll probably still be at the bottom. There's even a possibility we don't even participate in this halving. I don't know enough to say either way. You want it to, it should, but if for some reason OMI and the Veve platform or NFTs and period just don't get into this bull run, it could happen. But I don't see it. When they get fat with cash, they come in and start buying it because they know what's going to happen. If they start buying it up, it's going to shoot up and they'll unload it. So after that happens, instead of coming down 90%, maybe we come down 40% from original low, original high. I mean, so there's so much to think about. It's just, and you're just guessing. I am anyway, because this thing, financial advice, I have no idea. I'm just using common sense and logic and trying to learn as much as I can. So today's DCA, dollar cost averaging, surely. So figure out what you want to spend a month, and then divide it by 30, or so you can buy one thing a day, or divide it by 4, buy one thing a week. So whatever your strategy is. But if you got let's say $10. I like, whenever I buy something, I like to put in $10. So you find something, like today was the Star Wars issue #1. It's hovering right now about $10. So I was able to get it, and pretty decent, 11,000 mint number, not bad. But I like to stack 10 deep, okay? And I did have one from earlier, but I sold it for like 27, I think, when it was up. And then I never bought another one, and it's dropped down under 10. I think it's been as low as 7. But so I wanted to grab one just before it started to head back up over 10. So the way that works is, so I bought it, so now I'll keep an eye on it, and every time it drops below 10 and I got the $10, I'll buy another one until I get 10. And that, it keeps me out of trouble. You try to do everything at once instead of DCAing. So say you bought 10 of them for $10. Say, I don't think you can get, there's that many to get for under $10. Say you did, you spent $100. But if you did one at a time and it goes down to 8, then it goes down to 6, maybe it goes down to 4, that's dollar cost averaging power. And if it jumps and you missed out, maybe you got 2 of them before it jumped, go do something else and come back, because it goes up and down. Okay. DCAing is a very powerful tool if you use it right. Now check this out. This is going to blow your mind. If I can get it to come over. And while we're waiting, let's go over back to here. But that's the monthly. Let's do the view all. and we'll see what people are buying. This is a really good tool to have, just to give you a rough idea of what's going on. Because you got to be careful. If you're just looking at the app, they have something called delisting. And delisting can make you think the market's pumping. And that can get you into trouble, because if it's not, then you're just buying into a delisting, and it can literally jump $1,000 just because of delisting. If it was real scared. And I can't get that to come on now. It does this. I changed the banner, but it's not coming over. But anyway, let's go back to here. I'll deal with that later. So let's look at what people did yesterday. This is collectibles. And I always like the secret rares are, to me, is a good indicator. Because one, they're the most expensive. And even though these are only $13. But it gives you an idea. That's how I found out about the snow globe. I saw that. I went and checked it out. If people are willing to spend that much money and buy that many, and again, this could have been 4 different people, 1 person, I don't know. Now, the pencils is a different story, because you need all 4 pencils for the airdrop. So people are buying, a dozen or 2 a day. But you're going to get the desk. And nobody knows what the desk is going to do, if anything, other than be a collectible, but we're speculating. The, what's her name? The Frozen character, Esla, whatever her name is, her golden moment on the bottom of her base, or is it in her dress? Somewhere on her is a pen, and it's supposed to be Walter's pen. And there's been some good speculation that and the desk are going to be connected some way, somehow. Who knows? But as of right now, they're just collectibles. I don't have any proof of that, but it's fun to think about. It's fun to try to figure out. But getting back to these snow globes, that's a highly collectible for Coke people. And there's 2 groups of people when it comes to this right here. There's NFT people and there's physical collectible people. And NFT people will buy physicals, but it doesn't seem to go the other way around. Pure physical people do not want to buy NFTs. They do not like them yet. And I'm talking generally overall. The Funko Pop drop is the biggest clue of that. Most of those purchases, if not all, were done for the Iron Man Tony Stark by Veve NFT people. They have never sold out the gold origins on any of the drops except for that one. And it sold out quick. And the only reason it didn't sell out quicker was because they told us all when you tried to buy it that they were sold out, so everybody left. And throughout the day, I found out 4 hours later that it was still open. I went back and was able to get 2. But if they hadn't have messed up like that, it would have sold out real quick. But it eventually sold out by the end of the day or the very next morning. So, but it was all NFT people. It was all Veve people. Pretty much 95% probably. But getting back to this cover, when they do, because there's millions of Coca-Cola collectors, when they do buy into the NFT system, or no, there won't be enough. There will not be enough for the, now, as they grow, their mint numbers will go up. But even as much, these mint numbers, about 10,000 for these, it's not going to be enough. It's just not. And that will become very evident as the mainstream people start coming in. Because you're not talking a couple thousand, you're talking a million. Disney Plus alone's got 250 million people on it. And that's another thing I keep harping about it, is because I don't understand it. Like, Veve's flying underneath the radar. You go on a Mutascan, because they're on a Mutable X, right? If you go on a Mutascan, there's no data. They just got the cells data, which you can see, but they're hiding the data from the rest of the world right now. You can't access that data. So check this out. Okay, I'm going to go try to show this. It's supposed to pop up over this other one. It's still showing the virtues now, PVK. And according to my thing, it's not. Okay. Anyway, the Mutable Scan is the third highest behind Ethereum and Bitcoin in transaction. Okay, but nobody can see that data. I got this from an article where the guy had gone in and done some research. It doesn't register on any charts. When you go like the top 10, you know, they'll say Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, and Immutable Scan won't be, or Immutable X won't be on any of the charts, because it's like they're hiding it. It comes across that way. I'm not saying they're doing that on purpose, but the data is not accessible to people unless they really dig for it. So the average Joe, when they go check out some generic tokenomics, Veve doesn't even register. Yet they got the most transactions. They've got like 2.5% of the market right now. And that's without showing the Veve data. Without showing the Veve data. And Vive's their number one platform. It's even more than if you go on to Got a Change, they're doing $1 million. We're doing double that. But it's not registering on a Mutable Scan, which means generic data gathering things aren't going to have it at all. It's going to just act like it doesn't exist. And hardly anybody outside of the Veve community talks about Immutable X. They have in the last couple of days, because it jumped up at 3x. It jumped up from 60 cents to $1.20. So I don't know. That's another thing that it's like, when they really see what's going on, again, it's no guarantee, but those are the kind of things you want to look for. That's the kind of things I look for. Okay. Now check this out. NFT revenue. I'm going to try to switch to it. Oh, hold on. Look, it's finally switching over at the bottom here. Let me see. I'll remove that. I'll get back over to here. And as I don't think it's working. I don't think my mic is working. Nobody can hear me. All right, I'm going to end. This is the kind of problems I've been having, but I've got it on mute, and it's on. And I know my camera's working. Okay, is it working now? And now it's working. Okay, I just did a half an hour stream and nobody heard me.